So here's a nice piece of wood I found on the beach 2 days ago when I was beach combing. At the end of my beach combing video, you guys saw me with my quarter-inch ram carver cleaning up all the gray stuff off the wood. Now, this piece was a little bit wet, and all I do to dry wet wood I find on the beach is put it by my heat register. I got baseboard heater, so I just lean it against there and turn it down a bit, find the perfect heat, and we'll dry it out somewhat. This piece was not soaking wet, and you got to make sure when you're drying it out that you don't dry it out too quick, or you will start getting some cracks in it if you dry it out too fast. Anyways, the outside feels dry. I'm not too sure on the inside. Now, when I was cleaning this up with my cleaner with my ram carver, I couldn't tell what type of wood it was doing that. Let's give you the wider view here. I could not tell what type of wood it was, but I turned it around back where I knew I wasn't going to carve it, and I cleaned it up right here. And well, I was surprised to see that this is yellow cedar. I thought it was actually western red cedar, but it's yellow cedar. Now, yellow cedar is real nice wood to carve. It's so tight grain, you don't really see the grains in it when you're carving it. And you can sand it so well that it almost looks like ivory. You can kind of see some grains there a bit. Anyways, while I was beachcombing the other day, because I wanted to get some pieces to practice my eagle heads. Now, there's two ways I kind of do my eagles on pieces like this. Sorry. I could draw a wing here, and then the head up here, then maybe a moon up there. Or I could go like this and draw it like a soaring, like a jetting eagle. So his beak would be here, boom. His eye would be here, and then his wing here, boom. So I think I'm gonna go for this way. Huh? What do you guys think? Go for this way? Now I'm gonna draw it on now, and my eagles. Yeah, I'm not a realism carver, but I like my eagles to kind of be realism, but they're kind of not. My eagles are kind of more native style. So I think what I'm going to do is draw it on now, and then I got to go to my chainsaw shop, use my bandsaw for a few minutes, and I'll cut this out with the bandsaw, just the beak. Now, it is cracked here. So, but that's not a big deal. This is a piece of driftwood, and you're just practicing. So, anyways, I'm just going to start off using a pencil. I'm going to take it a bit farther away from this edge to maybe get less crack. So my beaks are always a little bit more square right here. And my beaks are always too big if you're going for realism. So I think your eye is basically halfway down your beak. Something like that. That's pretty. So we'll have to bring this beak down lower. This is what I struggle with. My beak always being too big. So then your eye will be here. That looks pretty good to me. Like this, like this. So I like to have a bump in my beak here too. And your bottom lip will be here. The bottom lip stops so in the middle of the eye. This beak more, this crack there, but boom. Your bottom lip, then you can carry on down here like this. Boom, like that. Like that. Now this beak doesn't seem right to me. That's better. Bring your eye a bit lower. Something like that. Then your wing, well, it starts at top and go like this. Now this is a lot of Dremel carving. For sure it is. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Now this one will be cross-hatched like this. That's kind of my style eagle. This, my friend Tyler, Benjamin, he's good friends with Ryan Cook, taught me kind of like a cheekbone in here. So I'm going to cut this part out in the bandsaw, and then we'll carve it. But yeah, we got what we can do here is we got the white color, so we can give it like a undercut right here. So maybe the wing would be back a bit more, but that's all right. Don't even have to do that. So anyways, I'm going to get this done. I got some stuff I got to do. And then I'll be back. Just looking at this head. You guys think it's good? Let's see how it would look if I... Yeah, this style here. I don't know. That doesn't work. It just kind of looks too much like a parrot. I like it square up here. That's probably why I got the. That's probably why I lots of my carvings look like fire chickens. Anyways, all right. I'm back from the chainsaw tent. I used the bandsaw. Now, when I was cutting this, I would smell the wood. Yellow cedar has a really prominent smell. You can totally smell it. It's very pungent. I left the back like this, just driftwood. I could have cut it and made it look cooler, but I want this back to look like it's a piece of driftwood that I carved it. I did make the beak thinner. The eagles has always been a constant struggle. Some of you struggle with, well, I struggle with wood spirits, but the more that you do, the better you're going to get. And just try and figure things out. Like my beak is always too wide this way. Now I'm starting to make it smaller. Like, well, not as wide. Anyways, what I'm going to do is get the Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr and cut around here. Boom, cut here. I got to cut this around this wing here. Then I got to remove lots of the wood to get the wing elevated. It doesn't need to be like way deeper. I don't have that. Well, I got lots of depth inside this part in the middle, but not on the edge. So I'll put the Kutzall Extreme cut around here. I think I'm going to possibly put abalone shell. This piece is for myself. It's for my little barbecue, the Dirty Hook Shack barbecue pit. So, and I also think this wood will be a little bit fuzzy. Just because, well, when I was cleaning this, it was fuzzy, but it's drier now. Another thing too, this was the outside of the log. This part here. This was the inside of the log. So when I cleaned it up here, it was nice and yellow. But I think looking at it this way, when I cut it, I looked at it here. I don't think it's I think most of this stuff here that I'm going to carve is the sapwood, so it's not as good as the hardwood, so it's always softer and well, not always, but most times it's softer and it's not as good as the hardwood. Sapwood's always on the outside of the tree. Anyways. Hey everybody, so that's the 1/8 extreme flame burr. I've sped this part up 2 times the speed. I think it's important when you're doing something like this to really have the size cut properly, the outside dimensions cut properly before you start doing any carving. I do think at the end of this video, I didn't say it at the end of the video, that this beak is a little bit too long. But it's better to have a longer beak than a shorter beak, because the great Stephen Kanzora once told me that well, if your beak's too long, it's not bad. It's too short, it will look like a parrot. So longer beak's better. There I am, just shaping it, giving it the bottom lip, and making everything round, getting rid of all the square edges. This piece of wood actually wasn't very good to carve, but that's what you get when you find wood on the beach. I say on lots of my older videos, free wood's the best wood. And you know, free wood's not always the best wood, but when you're learning and practicing, free wood is actually the best wood, because you didn't pay anything for the wood, and all you've done is just use some time up. Now I'm refining the beak there a bit. I drew it on. This is what that beak's super thin, so here's some CA glue. It's just like super glue, and that's the back side of it. I put the CA glue on it, so hopefully, because I'm kind of careless, I didn't want it to break off when I was carving. I wish I put it up a little bit higher. And here's some accelerator, so this just makes it dry a lot quicker. You have to be careful when you, because this wood's still damp, you have to be careful using that accelerator on the damp wood, because it will bubble up, foam up the glue. This is sped up 8 times the speed. So there I'm carving in this would be a bald eagle, carving in the feathers so the white part separate the white from the black. And hope everybody's doing good. There I am, just cutting some, basically your standard carving wing lines. I got a eagle book with like a really good artist eagle book showing pictures of eagles and different wing patterns and stuff like that. I'm gonna start practicing more standard normal wing patterns. I haven't put too much effort into them. I basically just do what when I was carving with Ryan Cook, what he taught me how to do the owl wing patterns. So this is what I got so far. I'm much happier with that beak. It is a little bit long, but I am going to make it shorter. This part here, it just something seems off to me. So I think the top's straight. It's I could fix that, but where I'm going to put it, I don't think it really matters. This part here kind of just seems like it's a little bit plain to me, so I think I'm going to just do a little cut right like this, make it a bit rounder. Actually, let's see here. That's pretty thin here. So I think if I gave it like a cut like this, maybe even a little bit more, gives it some more character. Now, I'm going to be setting the abalone shell eye. I got all that all set up. What I'm going to do quickly first is, well, I'm going to cut that off, get rid of that, make it more rounder in there. Make those, because this would be like a bald eagle. These would be the white feathers and everything would be dark. Then I'm going to go along. Now here's a brand new set of, these are aluminum cutting bits. Now I've bought lots of different types. This brand, U-Photo or whatever it's called, is the best brand that I always use. I'll leave a link to these below. These are really good for cutting hardwoods. Now, don't be mistaken for the aluminum cutting burrs, and I know I repeat myself, than the metalworking burrs. Aluminum cutting burrs they have the bigger cutting flutes. They cut hardwood really good. And when you use these, It's you're using a planer that they cut clean, but you have to go down the stairs. You have to go with the grain, not against the grain. Now this is the one I'm going to use. See, there's a cutter on the bottom, and I'm going to get the worst part of this over. I'm going to give it all some detail here, like little feather things, and I'm going to go like this, cross hatching this way, and then we'll talk about the abalone shell eye. But first of all, I'm not going to film. I'm going to clean that up. I'll film a bit using this. And when you use this one, use it on the edge. Just like boom, 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 boom. You know, on the corner of it. So I suggest these for the beginning carvers too. This is what I started using. I first started using metalworking cutters. I don't think I have one. I'm looking at my burrs here. I don't think I have one that I can see. But I got this big mess here. But started with metalworking cutters, and I went over to these. And they do make these cutters, these aluminum cutters for the die grinders and Fordhams too. It's a little bit more expensive. I think this set is like 15 bucks. So what, you get 10 burrs for 15 bucks? That's, or maybe they're like $20 now, but this is the one that I use mostly to cut wood spirit hairs and detail things. Anyways. All right, so I got this cleaned up a little bit down here, made it a bit more rounder. Same with the top there. I kind of cut more of this part off. So I got the aluminum cutting burr here. Just going to see me going like this and following the same pattern. I don't necessarily want to make it uniform. Now for the head here, above the eye, where's that pencil? I kind of bring it off like that. This is how I do it. Sometimes I'll push hard, a little bit harder and softer. Okay, so I'll get this all done. Now, actually, let's just do some, I can't really, cross hatching here for this part of the wing. Like, you got all these cuts in here, but sometimes it's okay to go over it, like, just to mix it up a little bit. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm back. So We just need to get some better shading. So you can do a deep cut, a real deep cut, then come back and feather it out. So you guys, can you guys see that cut there? So there's my deep cut. Then you just put some little cuts in it. The more you use it, be careful with this. This will cut skin. This one, the Dremel, the Kutzall bits or the saber tooth bits leave you a rash, like a road rash, like a little cut. But these ones will cut. Now, when I was doing all that in my carelessness, what happened was the beak broke off. So it's still because the grain goes this way, right? When I get something like this, I leave it on there. Don't take it off if you can't. Just don't take it off, because the grains are going to match up perfectly the way it is. See, it's broken there. It's just a little bit on the backs holding it on. So now I'll get the super glue or the CA glue, put it in there, and let it dry. So I got to sit here for a little while and hold it tight while it's drying. I don't know if you guys can see, but it started bubbling up there. See the bubbles? Yeah, there you go. It just popped out. Now, when it bubbles, when you use the accelerator, that's a good indicator that whoa, look at those bubbles. It's a good indicator that the wood is wet. Yeah, so anyways, I can sand those off later. I'm going to sit around for a little bit, let this dry up, and I'm going to use I got the flap sander on my Dremel. Turn your Dremels down. This is a sanding mandrel. They're in my Amazon store. I'll leave a link to these below too, in the comments or whatever. More description down below, these sanding mandrels. And I'm going to sand this all up a little bit. Yeah, this is pretty fuzzy wood. Boy, so I'm having a problem talking today. I'm going to redo this. Yep, this is definitely fuzzy wood. Yellow cedar isn't normally so fuzzy, but it's damp wood. So anyways, all right, see how just taking that little notch out gives the piece more movement? So I'm liking this so far. There's the drying beak. I will cut the beak a bit shorter. Now we're gonna do some. I'm gonna do some abalone inset. What I did is, well, I got this piece, so this fits perfect on there. But for me, for abalone shell, when I inset it, I like to tuck it up and under the eyebrows. So this one's perfect if I gotta use this one for a thing. But then if I tuck it under, then it's gonna be too small. So I made a bigger one. Now, I'm not a professional abalone shell installer like a professional native carver, but I do my best. So here's the bigger one. Now the abalone shell, I got this stuff. Can I open this? I got this. This is all different sizes. I got this given to me. Or I have the full abalone shell. Now, you guys can buy this on Etsy or eBay, or I'm not sure if Amazon sells it, but I think this is from Asia. I think the best abalone shell is from Brazil, possibly. Now, when you buy this, usually they use this for smudging. So the hippies will get their smudgers and smudge their stuff in there, their sage in there, their sage sticks. But make so when you see it, you'll just see it like this, and it'll be shiny on the inside. Make sure you get sanded both sides. Now, I remember when I started carving, I could buy this stuff for like $5 a shell. I'd order like a bunch of them, but now it's a lot more expensive. But make sure you get the sanded both sides. This is the abalone shell. And make sure when you look at the pictures too, if you're going to buy some, make sure they'll send you a close-up picture, like contact the seller, and make sure they'll send you a close-up. These holes are natural. They're the shells, the clamps, whatever, abalone breather holes or whatever. But make sure that they don't have, when you buy it, it doesn't have a bunch of, see the little pinholes in there? Like right above my thumb? This one's pretty good, but just do your best, I guess the word would be due diligence, to make sure that they're not all full of the pinholes. Like look at those pinholes right there. Here's another one. They come in different colors too. See all those pinholes? They have them. It's hard to get around them, but you know, the more expensive shell doesn't have those pinholes. But I do suggest getting a hold of the seller and ask to send some pictures, close-up pictures like this of them. So now let me find a good area. Now I'm going to put this on there and trace it with the pen and cut it out. And definitely wear your dust mask when you're doing this, because this stuff is, well, it's not good for your lungs. Either is wood. Or maybe it's either. Either is wood. Either, who cares? It's just not good for your lungs. So I got the shell marked here where I want to carve it. See right there? Carve it out. I found the best spot. I also got to mark my eye on the thing. Sometimes I don't do this. I just cut it and then I it's a trial and error thing for me. All right. So there, get out of there. So that's that. So now I'll have to find a burr to dig this out. You don't want to go too deep, but then I want to cut underneath the eyebrow. We'll call this the eyebrow thing for the bird. Underneath there. So then when I got this, where's that bigger one? But anyways, when I got it cut, I can slide this up and under there. Anyways, now for the wood, I got the Kutzall silver taper burr on here. And for the shell, because I'm going to just do a time lapse, a voiceover, I guess, of this, I got this little metalworking burr that will cut the shell. These Kutzall burrs do cut through the shell too, but you'll probably get them dull a little bit. Anyways, yeah, voiceover. You'll have to forgive me. This is probably not the best voiceover. I don't have my microphone hooked up. I got Sony PlayStation music in the background and my cat's lying on me purring. So there I am cutting in the eye. You know, once I had that shape done, I could have easily got another burr and to remove the wood. I do know how to carve eagle eyes. Ryan Cook taught me. I put a different, I think now I got a different burr inside there that has a cutter on the bottom. So there you see, I don't know if you can see, but here I'm putting another burr on. But I cut pretty deep. I'd say about, I don't know, pretty deep underneath that eyelid, above the, it's not an eyelid, but above the eye. And there I am. So now I'm going to test with the paper to see how well the paper slides in. There. Now this is the smaller piece. It's not the bigger piece. I don't think it is. But it seems like it's a nice fit to me. I think when you're doing the inset abalone shell, or say if you wanted to use copper or whatever, it's the best time to take your time and make sure you do it right. You can buy this abalone shell also in sheets. If you go on Amazon, they sell it in sheets. It's like, I don't know how they do it, but it's real abalone shell, but it's like they kind of press it together. So anyways, there you can see my dust collector table is really sucking that dust up. But I said it's super important to wear your dust mask when you're carving something like this. Yeah, Lee, get off me for right now. My cat just got off me. She likes to lie on me when I'm lying down. I'm lying down right now. Shout out to Ben's studio on the lake. So there's the piece cut. I don't know why, but I like to round the edges there of the top points. Just, it's easier to slide in. Just a little bit. Just get rid of the sharp edge. Make them rounder a bit. And I kind of make the abalone shell thinner too. Not much. I'm just making it thinner right there. And this is the little metalworking burr. If I didn't say it, this is a little metalworking burr I'm using. Now, see, whoa, how'd that turn out to be so big? But it's way too big. So this is the way I normally do it. It's just like trial and error, fit it, carve it, fit it, carve it, fit it, carve it, fit it, carve it. And like I said, you definitely don't want to be in a rush doing this. Just take your time, trial and error, fit, carve, fit, carve, fit, carve. The more that you do that, the better fit you'll have. It's better to start off with a lot larger piece of abalone shell than a smaller piece because, well, if you cut it too small, then you'd have to save this piece for another carving and carve another one. And don't forget, when you're fitting this abalone shell, it's not perfectly flat too. It's round. It's got like a roundness to it, so it's a little bit harder too. I should actually really get a hold of my friend that's a professional, world famous native carver. He's got some carvings in the Vancouver airport, I believe. I got one of his carvings, but I should ask him. Actually, I can just go down below there. See, there's a pretty good fit now. I think I'm going to fit it. See, it's kind of round there. I think I'm going to fit it a little bit better, just like I'm talking about putting it in, taking it out, fitting, curving, fitting, curving. I think I'm going to do it once more. I'm not too sure. I'm not the best at these voiceovers. I'm not the best at curving. I'm not the best at anything that I do. But I try. That's the best we can do, is try. So that's a pretty good fit, I think. No gaps. Now, I got that metalworking bit on here still. I'm just going to carve a little detail line on the beak. And then I'm going to give there's this breather hole. Kind of burns at the same time. Yes, that beak is a little bit too long, but it's alright. At least I'm making them thinner now. It's a mental block that I think I have because I'm so used to looking at native art and carvings, and the eagle heads are always so big compared to the bodies. But a realism eagle, the head's way smaller than the body. Yeah, I know I'm using it as an excuse, but but that's my excuse. I think my game's downloaded. I got a PlayStation 5. I'll probably be playing lots this winter. Anyways, there you go. I got it all sanded down. Everything's good. Now this is my little butane torch I got. It's a benzomatic. I like this one because I glued that bottom on there so it always stands up straight. It sits up straight. I'm just giving it some light burning. Just to, I don't know, add some textures to it. I want the head feathers to be a lot brighter than the wing feathers. But I do burn the beak, solid black, and then I hit it with the flap sander. Now I don't know why I'm having glitches when I'm doing this voiceover. It's sped up like 8 times the speed, so it's glitchy when I'm watching the video doing the voiceover. But here you can see I'm going to burn the wings pretty deep. I like this little butane torches because the Spenzomatic's good. It's got a sharp little point on it, so you can get into the deep spots. There I am. I got it all burnt. Now I'm just hitting it with the flap sander. You can see the beak there was pretty black. I kind of want this piece to look like rustic, like it's old. So that's how you do it. You burn it, then you sand it. And that's some watered down Mod Podge. I did a test. Now I don't know, this is going to be undercover. It's going to be outside, but I did a test with the watered down Mod Podge. And it seemed to work. It's not really that shiny, but it gets in the wood. I don't know how much protection it will give it, but like I said, this piece is not going to be in the elements. Now there's a 5-minute epoxy. That's what I'm mixing up to set the abalone shell. Aye. And make sure you mix your epoxy good, because there's nothing worse than using the epoxy and coming back to it and finding out it's still sticky and tacky and it didn't cure properly, and it makes a big friggin' mess. I just say this stuff because been there, done that. So I think it's a pretty good inset. Probably the best part about the Seagull. So I put a couple of these little hangers on the back. Don't forget to sign your pieces, everybody. Now let's turn this around and see how it looks. The beak is a little bit thin there. I sanded it a bit too much. Sander got stuck in there. There's a pretty nice abalone shell inset. Not much gaps. See how it rides up under. So from a junky piece of wood to I think it's pretty good. From a junky piece of wood to a old rustic bald eagle. Now, where am I going to hang it? Well, I know exactly where I'm going to hang it. I knew where I was going to hang it when I found this piece. I'd love to read you guys' comments, what you think. It's never as good as you want it to be, but I can tell I'm progressing with my eagles and making the beaks smaller this way, not as high. You got to keep trying, everybody. The more you do, the better you're going to get. I'm slowly getting there. Slowly getting there. What are you doing, Lee? Huh? What are you doing? This rain spiral chain thing I made works really good when it's raining. If it pours, some water splashes out of it, but otherwise it's working great. That's where I got it. Can't really see the abalone shell eye, but that's alright. Yeah, I got a long way to go for my eagles, but I like it. I think it looks good there. Hope everybody's doing good. Don't shit your pants.